So now the next category is premium live events or pay-per-views. This is another one that could go to Tony Khan's two fingers, pal. Tony Khan knows how to write down a hell of a pay-per-view card. Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, they might not be the most entertaining shows week to week, but anytime you order an AEW pay-per-view, you're getting a good show. It's going to be long. It's going to be 5 hours long, 35-minute matches, but man, it is a good show at the end of the day. And the PLEs, I mean, we kind of talked about a potential problem brewing where WWE's like, all right, we're going to Australia. Here's 3 bad matches. And, Rhea Ripley, main eventing, pal, hometown hero. And the same formula in Puerto Rico. Oh, some okay matches. Here's Bad Bunny, pal. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say WWE phones it in with their PLEs sometimes. But it does come off that way. It does come off like they're relying on just being WWE and their brand, and they're not putting a lot of effort into the overall quality of their PLE. Whereas AEW, you're getting a good pay-per-view every single time. So it is an interesting topic too.
No, 100%. And yeah, personally, I prefer Triple H's PLE model to Vince McMahon's PLE model. Where, and I think everyone does. Where it's like the best of the best. Most of the boys and the women in the locker room don't even get a spot on the show. It's like reserved for about 5 matches, and like the ones that are the most relevant to the show or generally at the time, which I think is better for me. You're watching the United States, pal. The show starts at 7 or starts at 8. It's over by 10. On with your night. You go to work, Monday, whatever, or Sunday and Monday, and you forget about it. And you don't need to worry about your whole night being ruined. You're watching an 8-hour show until 1 a.m. That sort of thing, the logistical side of it. But as a sheer booker of cards, I'm taking Tony here. I mean, once again with Triple H, I mean, I've been to one. You've been to a couple with these PLE events. Once, yeah. For me, I was the prime example of the international PLE. You get the big main event featuring a big star from that region of the world. I had Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax, which that match on Monday Night Raw, I wouldn't even care to see. But when it gets drummed up and built up as the big main event of the show, and there's posters and there's merchandise, and they market it. It feels like a big deal when you're there. It's a big stadium show main event. And then the rest of the show was just here's a talk show segment, Jimmy. Here's Cody and Seth Rollins talking to Grayson Waller. Okay, great. And Triple H is signing that off for 50,000 people screaming in the stands like me, pal. Tony Khan, at least the thing with them, the PLEs are going to be all killer matches. You're going to have 1 or 2 match of the year candidates usually. You're going to have a lot of pretty good matches for the most part. Yes, have there been some negatives in the last 5 years? Yes. Did Matt Hardy fall off a platform and hit his head on concrete? Sure. But on the whole, pal, Tony's giving you better cards. He's giving you a better show generally for a PLE. Triple H is giving you 5 decent to good matches, usually with a predictable main event and a predictable winner, usually. So, yeah, that's just what it is, pal. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think this one goes to Tony Khan, too. I mean, the best of the best with WWE's PLEs are really good. When WWE has a good show, it is a good show. Like we saw with SummerSlam this past year. SummerSlam was awesome. WrestleMania was awesome. But then you have Elimination Chamber, or you have Payback last year, or you have Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank was a solid show, but it wasn't a great oh my gosh, I have to watch this show. It wasn't anything like that. But yeah, I think I got to give this to AEW. I got to give it to Tony Khan.
Kevin, you can't in good faith give this to Triple H and WWE. Yes, WrestleMania 40 was, a fantastic extravaganza, but you were at the Royal Rumble, pal. You were there. You experienced the Royal Rumble. You experienced backstage political chess, influencing on screen. You're saying Cody pointing at Roman when maybe he wasn't even supposed to, and he made it all about him, pal. And you were there, pal, as WWE was marching into you've been there. Tony Khan, AEW takes his category. This is now 2 to Tony, duck eggs to Triple H and Paul Levesque. Kevin, I mean, you're the big WWE shield here. You're on the ropes, I reckon.
Come on,
pal. You're the one who you defend WWE going to St. Petersburg the third most dangerous city in Florida. You defend these things. This is your company, pal,
Oh
and
yeah.
you're on the ropes. 0-2 down.
Oh,
How are you going to respond? What's the next
I,
category?
I didn't know you were a big AEW guy. When did you become this big AEW shill, pal? You getting those sweet Tony Khan checks, pal?
Well, pal, let's move to the next category. Matches. Explain to me why Paul Levesque should win this category, because Kevin, I look at this one and go, once again, Tony Khan exists to give the wrestling universe good matches. That's Tony Khan's sole purpose in life, pal. Tony Khan's purpose is writing down on a A5 notebook piece of paper, Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. Stadium. 7 stars. Enjoy. That's Tony Khan. Then I'll look at what he's going to give you consistently. Yeah, I mean, he's got the talent. Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay, all of these just great wrestlers. He's got Kenny Omega before he nearly died of that illness. All these great wrestlers. Who's Paul Levesque really giving you for those great matches? Honestly, I mean, there was a time there for about 2 years. Every main event was Roman Reigns. And we got the Roman Reigns match. 20 minutes of chin locks and talking to the camera, pal. The babyface is going to come back. Jimmy Uso, pal. Steel chair shot. Heyman's crying at ringside. Roman wins. Is that a legendary match? And yes, Gunther had an amazing 2023, like WrestleMania 39, the match against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, sure. A legendary 5-star, top 3 all-time IC title match at WrestleMania. But what else has Paul Levesque given you? I'm looking at Tony Khan. He's giving me sugar hits. He's giving me great matches. He's giving me matches which can satisfy me. Triple H isn't doing that. Triple H is giving you 4-match cards with talk show segments and Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. That's what Paul Levesque's given me. Tony Khan, when AEW comes to Australia, has given me, 5-star matches. He'll be giving me, he'll be dragging wrestlers out of retirement to wrestle 5-star matches, pal. He'll be paying Shane McMahon millions to wrestle a 7-star classic, pal. But no, all being serious, Tony Khan, AEW, matches is why they exist, realistically. That is what they're there for. Kevin, I want to hear your opinion. I've done the talking. In your eyes, matches. Triple H, Tony Khan, talk to us.
Well, the first 2 were pretty close categories. They were close-knit, tough debates. This category, I think, is AEW's. I think by a landslide, really. I mean, like you said, AEW was created to be the match of the year factory. And that's what we get. Every pay-per-view, almost every Dynamite has like a 5-star match or a 6-star match, 7-star match. That's what they do. WWE is the entertainment, pal. The entertainment fed. What did Meltzer refer to SummerSlam as? An angle show? The WWE is an angle show. AEW is a match show. Now, being an angle show has gotten WWE a multi-billion-dollar deal with Netflix. Has gotten them a multi-billion-dollar deal with USA to have Fox on, have SmackDown on USA, get them off of Fox, pal. Being a match show, AEW's drawing 1,000, 1,200 seats. Infamously when Edge debuted in Seattle, I think it was, he's like, oh, this part of the crowd is empty. Oops. Oh, let me run to the other side. CM Punk, now when he's touring WWE, he's doing live events, he's doing Raw. He's like, oh, wow, there's fans here. I know what it's like to have fans in my building. So there's levels to this. Tony Khan can have his matches, pal. He can dominate this category. But WWE, they're doing what pro wrestling and sports entertainment is best at, and is characters and character development, pal. So yeah, I'm giving this, but I am giving this Tony Khan though.
You saw the MJF and Ospreay match, and how what they did was, there were people who were sitting, you call it hard cam side, so they were facing where the cameras film the action. They were on TV, so to speak, and they're recording it, and you can just see that whole side of the arena. You got MJF and Ospreay doing a 5-star, legendary, amazing match on in the ring, rolling around 30 minutes, time limit, amazing match, work rate, action, everything you could want in a match in ring, and then you can see the arena is just empty seats. There are the cameras, empty seats. And it's part and parcel. AEW takes this category as well, Tony Khan. That's going to be 3 categories to duck eggs. Kevin, is your man going to respond?